Morning. We're up to Sunday the 8th of December. So we've had another couple of mil, a bit of a recap since the last one, just I'm not too sure where we're up to. So we had a couple of mil late Friday afternoon. There was a bit of a storm blow through and it was enough to stop us. So sort of didn't do much yesterday. We got the trade lambs here, moved them yesterday morning. There was one that actually had a cut on its back from shearing that I thought might have been fly struck, so I just ran them in yesterday morning and actually moved them paddock here at home or closer to the house and sheds, so they're pretty happy, going along all right. So yeah, harvest, we're up to our last paddock, which is nice. It's not a lot there. We sort of knew there wasn't going to, it was sort of on the new block, so it was, look, no summer spraying, was cultivated a couple of times. So it wasn't set up to do greatness. So I haven't worked out what the irrigation's done in the end. I think it's maybe somewhere near the 3.5 tonne over that whole block, when you include the dryland parts of it as well. Some of the irrigation probably didn't go as well as what I was hoping. It may have, it only had one hit of nitrogen, so I'm just thinking whether that's been an issue or what. So quality after the rains, it's all been downgraded to feed, which we knew would be the case. So plan is we'll get going today. It's quite cool again this morning, so, and the wind's sort of around in the south, so the humidity's gone. The next week looks fine, which is good. We should be able to, we'll definitely get finished either today or tomorrow. So we've got there's about 60 hectares of wheat and about 35 of oats, and it won't take long to clean the oats up. So we'll get our seed back with them. None of the guys are out yet. I'll just see. I'll give Tony a ring later. We've left the mother bin where we were on the other block, and we're carting back to it down the road. So with this crop not yielding that well and the paddocks being so soft with the rain, you wouldn't dare drive a truck in the paddocks. So we've just left it where it is, so Kev can get in and out without getting stuck. So yeah, just slipping up to have a look at the late corn. The early stuff, it's marching along really well, which you'll see here in a minute. If I can get down here without getting bogged, I might just go for another set of wheels on that one. So we need to get some trace elements on the early corn. I may actually have to get a contractor in to do it with a self-propel because it's getting so tall. We sprayed all this rice ground the other day, so it's died off all pretty well. We'll look at getting it cultivated this week. I can if it's dry enough. I'm in a bit of two minds with contracting, whether we try and find a bit more work with the header or whether we just finish our own and park it in the shed. Sort of getting to the back end of where we're getting over it. There is a lot of wheat, a lot of crops still standing around the place, so look, I may just give a couple of neighbours a ring and just see whether anyone wants a hand now that the sort of quality's gone. Guys will probably just want to strip it themselves, so we'll just see. Get ours finished first, but we do have quite a bit. We've got enough going on actually, like as per usual. You probably have a laugh. So corn needs spraying. What else needs doing? Sheep work. We need to pull all the rams out of the ewes with the ewes. We've got some ewes and lambs to backline. There is plenty to do. So we're effectively 2.5 weeks off Christmas, so it'll be good to sort of not still be mucking around leading into Christmas, but anyway, we'll just see. So anyway, this is, I'll turn this ute off. It's quite windy, so the wind's going to be a pain in the bum. So corn this is the later sown stuff, so it's ticking along pretty well. Yeah, so Miranda came and had a look the other day. We were a little bit worried it was a bit deep. We'd sown it a bit deep, but it actually looks pretty. It was a bit spindly, but it looks a bit better now. Ground was quite wet. It was, yeah, like here where we are, it was probably, in some spots it was standing in water. So yeah, it's actually, yeah, probably our best. It's actually probably our best plant numbers. Plan was here we were gonna, well, as I just said, it needed spraying, but this stuff is actually starting to die. So we might, I might give Miranda a ring in the morning and just have a yarnder about it, because the atrazine and it is slowly. This was just a green mat the other day with canola, which happens. Like we've been talking about with a couple of mates, like you talk 1 or 2% losses out of the back of the header. Well, if you know at 1% this crop's done over 3 tonne, that's 30 kilos of seed to the hectare. That's a lot of canola seed, given we only planted at 2 kilos, 2.5 kilos. So any wonder it looks terrible. So yeah, but the canola, the chemical we put out like over the top of it is starting to work. So we might just hold 5 on doing this and just see how it comes up. Because it was just, it was the canola really was all it was the drama, but we've got good rows, which is pleasing to see. So we need to get the moisture probes in here. The one needs to go in over at the other block. We've only got the one in here just so we can see what's going on now. Believe it or not, it is actually telling us we should be watering that, but after 100 odd mil for the last 10 days. But I want to get it sprayed first, get these trace elements out on it. So we'll do that first and then see what's going on. But yeah, this all looks really good. So this row here, you watched that last video when we were planting, that's where the fertilizer is. So we'll just see, again, we ran out of fert, so this half for the pivot, the fert's been banded when we sowed it, and then the other side we just spread afterwards. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference is come harvest time. So yeah, it's going all right. I was thinking about, I'm mad, I am, more days go by, I think I'm getting madder, but I was thinking about putting another 20 hectares of corn in over on our dairy block where we'd on the irrigation over there, but I reckon we'll just yeah, we've got enough other stuff going on. We're going to cut some hay here at home just to reset this loose, and I think we did mention that we've got contract hay to cut, so I just said, oh bugger it, we've got too much other stuff to do. Yeah, and that's the other thing with the contract harvesting. I just thought, oh, maybe we just, although we're down on other years by a fair bit on income with our contract harvesting, yeah, there comes a point where it's yeah, you've just had enough, and I'm nearly at that point. So anyway, we'll just say the weather hasn't helped. You know, we've lost 2 weeks of harvest. You can strip a lot of crop in 2 weeks. So anyway, all looks bloody good actually. As you can see, the first block of early stuff, it's starting to really get cracking now. So it's, yeah, looks quite good, but it's filling in nicely. It's been going 2 or 3 hours now. Tony's, yeah, he's not long been. Got here, Kev's here, getting a load with the road train. Yeah, it's all sort of rocking along, not too bad. Bit of a better patch here. We're sort of up around that 2.5 or 3 tonne. Just an area that had been watered previously before we bought the place. So yeah, just got a bit of that stored moisture in the bank. But the rest of it's probably only doing somewhere around that 0.7, 0.8 to the tonne to the hectare sort of thing. So yeah, anyway, it is what it is. The rain we've had would have been really good 3 months ago. Anyway, wind's up, it's all sort of drawn out pretty well now. And yeah, ground's good to travel on. We'll come back in here once we get the crop off. I'll get our aggro Matt to come and have a look. And once we get the crop stripped, I'll probably speak to him on tomorrow, Monday. And yeah, we'll get him out and we'll get all this sprayed. And, yeah, then we can look at developing it over the summer. So the western end, we're going to be just waiting on the farm plan to come back, but we'll be laser grading that end of it, and then whether we get an irrigator, just got a few ducks to line up with finance and that, whether we end up putting a pivot irrigator down this end, and just try and make it more productive, because we're not getting a lot of productivity out of it at the moment. So anyway, going alright. What else would you be doing on a Sunday? Cricket's on the radio. Well, it's not yet, will be shortly. Yeah, a few sticks under a tree here that we'll just try and move around. Yeah, it's all sort of ticking along, not too bad. Second last run of the week, so yeah, our worst block by far, but anyway, it is what it is, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know what, we've actually picked up a bit of quality, which is nice. So yeah, not too sure what the go is, but yeah, obviously the Illabo, which is the grazing wheat that it doesn't like the wetter weather, but yeah, we've sort of come up to AUH2, which is yeah, a protein sort of higher screenings and higher protein grade. So yeah, that's a bit better money, which is good, but look, it's probably only done a tonne to the hectare, something like that. So I don't even know. Yeah, it might have done a bit better than that, but 1.2 or something. So no, not going to break any records, but that's all right. So as I said, no summer spray program, and it was cultivated a couple of times. And when you get a year like we did, rainfall wise, it just doesn't work out. So, was some good patches through it, but yeah, majority of it was pretty ordinary. So I'm thinking, yeah, we'll just have a very rough clean out. We've got 35 hectares of oats here as well, so I might just get Tony to park the bin once Kev's here again, getting another load, so he'll get everything that's here, and he can yeah, take that to town, and then yeah, whether I just get Tony to park the bin for me, and I'll just buzz over the oats, and Tony can knock off. And I've got an empty field bin at home, so I can run them home and just drop in the field bin anyway. This truck's got a load of wheat on it that we need to put in the silo, so I sort of thought, oh, maybe I could tip that out and bring the truck down, but I might just chase them in. I reckon there'll probably only be a couple of chase them in bulls anyway. I think so. I think they'll only be, so we'll strip one and see, get going anyway and see what we've got left there, but I'm reckoning that's all there's going to be. The end is near. Well, you've got to go across to the trees there, so these are the oats that we sowed very late, and they didn't really get going, so we're going to strips, because chase have been full, and I'll have a header box full by the end of it, so yeah, we've got our seed back in a bit, so it's alright. It needs spraying badly. We call it hogweed or wireweed. It's starting to get a bit of a run on, so we'll get in here. I'll get Matt, as I said, I'll get Matt out tomorrow or the next day and get him to go across all the stubbles and have a look. But this is a priority because with the land forming we want to do in here, so we'll get it sprayed and then try and get it worked up while we've got a bit of moisture. But anyway, another 10 or 15 minutes and we'll be done. So I'm not, as I said I think before, I'm not too sure where we're heading, if we're heading anywhere with the header at the moment. So yeah, I might make a phone call in the morning and just see, but at the moment I think it's going to work out that we may nearly be finished, which won't be too bad, but we'll see. All is quiet. We finally found the end. So yeah, it's all worked out pretty well after a few hiccups at the beginning and 100 odd mil of rain in the middle. As I mentioned, we'll just see. We do have plenty of farm work we could be doing, but we're down on our contract work with the header, and yeah, it's sort of no secret. We use the contract work to help, have good gear and make the repayments and that. So we are down a little bit. So whether we get on the phone in the morning and just ring, there is still quite a lot of crop to be stripped around the place. So whether we try and find a bit more work, and just for this week, fill this week in, and that'd cover what we sort of need. And yeah, because we're only, we're 2.5 weeks off Christmas, which is rapidly approaching. But anyway, good to get our own finished anyway. Rain's dragged it out, and it's funny when we got back in here with the wheat, and I think it did say it's a variety thing. The quality picked back up again, so which is it's obviously just a variety thing, which does happen for whatever reason. So yeah, there's about a truckload or half a truckload left in the mother bin. The truck's still loaded, which I'll put that in the silo tomorrow, and then we can go trucking and clean the mother bin out. So we'll probably spend half a day tomorrow mucking around, shifting gear about, and the oats can go in a field bin at home. We'll use them for seed or sheep feed or something. And we can we'll get the boys doing a bit of stuff, but we'll get everything back home and then see what the plan is then. So anyway, it's after a bit of a crappy start, it's all sort of worked out pretty well. The machine's been going really well. Air conditioner's still doing what it is. It's sort of 1 minute you could put a jumper on in there, and next minute it's a bit warm, but you've just got to play with it. And but it's cold. That's the main thing. It's when they're not blowing hot air or blowing air at all, they get a bit. You can't sit in them. So, but it looks like the weather's settled down. The humidity's gone. It's only 20. Probably only got 25 or 6 or 7 degrees today. Like, it's not hot now by any stretch. So the next week of 10 days looks pretty fine, which is good. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.